long time. I shouldn't have left you, but now I don't mean to step to the step. Hey everyone, my name is Sean Arnold and welcome to an episode of Subscriber Showdown. Today I'm going to be playing against Taijutsu Paradox. I wanted to make this video of us dueling against one another, dude, because you've been so very humbly respectful towards myself and also encouraging towards myself to make more videos and get back into the game. Yeah, I just wanted to show my appreciation for that. Dude, I also haven't forgotten about your request for a Yang Zing build. I will be working on that and you'll see that up on Thursday on the channel, where I break down how I feel Yang Zing should be played in the current meta for Legacy of the Duelist, and some things I've learned in terms of deck building along the way. Now, this is an interesting game which we had here because it is Burning Abyss versus Light Swans. Burning Abyss, I believe, or PK Fire, I believe to want to achieve similar goals to Light Swans. Both decks want to move resources into the graveyard to activate effects from the graveyard, but I believe Burning Abyss, or PK Fire, which I guess I should call it, has just better options and better variety and better utility, and also more powerful plays in doing so. So this should be an interesting game, an interesting matchup. The aim and goal of Burning Abyss is always to try and get Skarm of the Burning Abyss into the graveyard ASAP, because he sets up your future plays. I managed to do that by detaching it from Dante a little bit earlier, and Dante is another key mainstay card for Burning Abyss. What Dante of the Burning Abyss does is you detach one card from it and you get to send 3 cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard. This is a really great effect because it turns Dante into a nice beat stick, giving him 2500 attack for a turn, but then also sends cards from your deck to your graveyard, and pretty much almost every card in my main deck can be used in the graveyard except a few, such as Solemn Warning, as I'm using here against Lila. Now at the moment I have a lot of negation on board. I have Solemn Strike, and I also have the Phantom Knight's Wing, which is, of course, means a little bit of protection. So I've got quite a few options here at the moment. So my opponent is going to use Reinforcement of the Army. He's going to go and grab Raiden from his main deck, and he's going to have Felix on the board, which I believe he can now use Felix's effect to try and destroy Dante. Now, what's so great about Burning Abyss is that all of the monsters do float. They provide you advantage in some way, so even though he would have destroyed Dante, Dante is an effect which allows him to get another Burning Abyss card from my graveyard and add it to my hand, so losing it wouldn't have really mattered, but I decided to use Solemn Strike against it and try and keep Dante on board to protect myself and my life points, as I am at the moment down to 4500. In my hand at the moment I've got another card called Tour Guide of the Underworld. That is usually the first card you always search for Skarm, because it gives you another free Dante, and we're about to use that just here. But first we milled with Dante to see what options we get. We always mill first because it's random, and we go for the random option, and we managed to get another Skarm onto the board thanks to Sir being milled to the graveyard. Skarm is now being forced to the graveyard, and that's going to activate in the end phase again. And now we're going to play Tour Guide from the Underworld, which allows me to special summon one level 3 theme type monster from my deck to the field. Now normally Burning Abyss monsters suicide themselves if they're on the field with a non-Burning Abyss monster on your side of the field, but Tour Guide negates the effect of the theme monster, which allows me to keep Farfar in play. We're now going to go for another Dante, and we're going to keep on milling resources and sending them to the graveyard. And as you can see already, I've gone past half of my deck, and within just 2 turns I've used half of my deck and sent them to the graveyard. Now Burning Abyss monsters, they provide the utility of the deck. They provide many options such as monster removal, spell and trap removal, searching and revival, but the real power of the deck comes from the Phantom Knight cards, and so I want to get the Phantom Knights into my graveyard as quickly as I can once my Burning Abyss engine is ready to go, and the Burning Abyss engine is very much ready to go right now. So Double Dante attacks Taijutsu Paradox directly, doing 5000 damage, and that brings him down to 2400, giving myself a nice life lead. I check my graveyard to see how many Phantom Knights cards I have, and you always want 3 different types of Phantom Knight cards in your graveyard to make a play. As long as you have 3 different types of Phantom Knight cards, you can use them in some shape or form to get some good XCs out. My opponent normal summons Raiden. He's going to mill 2 cards from the top of his deck, sending off Wolf, which is now going to recur itself from the graveyard and bring it back to the field. And now with a Tuner and Wolf on the field, he's going to be able to go for a Synchro Summon, because Light Swords are very good at doing that. They have a nice Synchro build, and he goes for Scarlight, Red Dragon and Archfiend. Scarlet Red Dragon of Archery is a very good synchro monster. It can destroy all other special summon monsters on the field, and he's going to do that now, but I'm going to respond with Phantom Knight's Wing. Phantom Knight's Wing allows me to choose one monster, and the first time it will be destroyed this turn, it would not be destroyed. It is a normal trap, which is quite nice too, so it can't be affected by things like Mystical Space Typhoon. And so I lost one Dante, but I got to keep the other on the field, which will keep my life points nice and safe. When Dante went to the graveyard, it managed to get me back a card from the graveyard and add it to my hand, so I got Graph back to my hand. And now my opponent's going to destroy the second Dante through battle, and he's going to destroy that. Farfight is going to go to the graveyard, and another thing that's great about Burning Abyss monsters is that even when they're used as XE materials, as long as they're sent to the graveyard, they still activate. So I'm still going to be able to banish my opponent's Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend, but that's not going to really do anything because in the end phase, he's going to get his dragon back. So it's going to be there to deal with for a little while. The thing with Burning Abyss is that they don't actually get rid of cards or destroy them, but they do move them temporarily. Now my opponent, he knows I'm going to special summon this turn, so he's going to play Max Z. Max Z is a card which I consider to be a staple in the current format, and not enough people are playing Max Z. If you are not playing Max Z in your main deck, you need to consider doing so, because you will just get overwhelmed and outplayed. And what we now are aware of in the game is that there's something called a Max Z challenge. That is, if my opponent plays Max Z, I can choose to carry on my turn and do a lot of crazy summoning, but then if I don't win this turn, he's going to have so many resources to be able to play with. So I'm saying to myself, this turn I have to win the game. So I've managed to summon out Phantom Knight Breaksword using my Speedroid monsters, and now I'm going to use some of my graveyard Phantom Knight cards in order to special summon more from the graveyard. I'm going to send Banish Cloak, and I'm going to send one card from my deck to my hand, and I get out Phantom Knight Gloves, of the Ragged Gloves. And now with two more rank 3s on the board, I'm going to go for another copy of Phantom Knight's Breaksword. At this point, I need to be able to destroy my opponent's Scarlet Archfiend, but I'm very aware of what he has in his graveyard. He has two cards in his graveyard at the moment which can actually stop me from attacking. Electromagnetic Turtle will stop the battle phase, and he has Pero Dog, I believe, which will reduce the damage of one of my attacks to 0. And that is something which I need to deal with. So what's great about Phantom Knight Breaksword is that when it is destroyed from the field and sent to the graveyard, I can summon back 2 Phantom Knight cards. So not only did I get that summon pretty much for free because I just special summoned them from the graveyard, I'm now going to get them back again. Now what's amazing about this is not only do they come back, but they level up too. So instead of being level 3 monsters, they're now going to be level 4 monsters, allowing me to go into a dark rank 4 play. And I'm going to go into number 80, I believe, Rhapsody in Berserk. And Rhapsody in Berserk has a great effect for getting rid of cards in the graveyard. As you can see, Taijutsu Paradox has almost about 10 cards in his hand there. So if I really didn't win this turn, I probably would have lost. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get rid of those threats in the graveyard. I'm going to get rid of this Electromagnetic Turtle, and I am going to banish off Pero Dog as well. Let's get rid of him right now. Now, once Rhapsody in Berserk has used up his materials, he can then be equipped to a rank, to a monster, an XYZ monster, and that will give him an extra 1200 attack. So my 2000 Phantom Knight Breaksword is now 3200, and we could have done more plays. We could have even gone into more special summoning, but this is enough to win the game. Very well played to you, Taijutsu Paradox, and thank you very much for playing me, dude. Like I said, I will be working on your Yang deck very shortly. And if anybody else is interested and thinks they can stand up to a competitive challenge in Legacy the Duelist, I welcome all challengers. I'm looking to make videos with more people, and if you think you've got a really good deck, hit me up on PSN at the Arnold's Play, and I would love to give anyone a challenge. Thank you guys as always for tuning into my videos, and thank you for the support. I'll see you soon. Take care.